Hello everyone, welcome to the fresh episode of Weekend Bytes with me, your host Sujata. Today we have with us Ms. Joanne Flame Fernandes. The model is pursuing her academics in BA Psychology at St. Andrews College. Joanne has also played hockey at the national level. She resides in Mumbai. She enjoys sketching and playing different instruments all at the same time, and that's not all. She also tutors as a hobby. So let us all welcome Joanne to our show. Hi Joanne, I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Weekend
Hi,
Bytes.
Sujata. Yes, I am doing very well actually these days. So, yes, here's a
Okay,
little about me. Here's
so
a little about me.
great. So let us start with you introducing yourself to our audience.
Okay, here's a little about me. I think Sujata has done a very good thing by mentioning most of it actually. Um, I'm Joanne, as you guys know it. I am 20 and I am pursuing my bachelor's in psychology. I have a very keen liking for psychology from a very early age, and if I wouldn't have been here and been working as a model, I think that is something that would have had most of my attention. And I love sports. I do a lot of things actually. I like keeping my mind distributed. That's just about it.
That's amazing. Like you are so versatile at everything. Okay. So moving forward, let's talk about your modeling journey, like your modeling career. How and when did it begin? Like what excited you to come up with modeling?
I think it's a little surprising to me also that here I am standing. Um, it's been about 2 years from when I have started modeling. Um, it just came up to me. There was someone who offered me this opportunity to go in for, to walk in for a selection procedure for streaks professional. And it wasn't a still shoot, it was a ramp walk.
Okay.
I got this opportunity because of my long, luscious hair. And although before going for, the audition, I was very nervous because obviously it was the first time and it was for a brand that I know about.
Okay.
And I was still, considering whether I should go or not. And then my mom was like, what's there to lose? Just go ahead and go do it. And I did go, and then I heard a lot of compliments about myself from the entire team there. I was given an opportunity to work with them and work with them. And I think that's where I got into, a liking for this profession as well.
That's amazing. And I see that you are actually doing well in your career right now at such a young age. Okay. And later, moving forward, hardships are meant to be learned from. And you clearly must have had your share of hardships and tribulations too along your journey. So, what is it that one thing that kept you going and to never give up?
I think the one thing that kept me going all this while is my mother, because I started this journey because of her. And through the entire, section of it, I think just looking at her struggle in life got me to, learn this thing that how whatever it is that you're working hard on, the moment you stop working hard on it, all the hard work is just for nothing. So that's what kept me going all this time.
That's good. That's good. I mean, this sort of motivation, I think everybody needs it at this point of time. Okay. So, is there anything or is there something along your journey as a model that you are most proud of? And what might that be that you love about your job?
I think the one thing that I'm most proud of is my conversion from an extreme introvert to, an overtly extrovert. Because me being a sports player, I was always to myself. Yes, definitely, I've been a part of team sports, but then again, you're to yourself, you're not engaging too much, and it's a war. It's a war. But being a part of the modeling industry, you go around, you meet a lot of people when you're going out for shoots. You're not just models, but also the crew. I think I meet a lot of beautiful people every single day as a part of my profession, and I could not ask for more.
Okay, so guys, let me tell you that Joanne has also appeared on MTV Supermodel of the Year. So talking about it, how has your journey been, and what is that one opportunity that brought you here and to actually appear on such a good show?
I think Supermodel of the Year was something that I would not have expected myself to be on. Okay. Yes, I auditioned for it. I was extremely nervous again, and it was something that I would watch as a kid. MTV, India's Next Top Model, MTV Supermodel of the Year. I have watched it from the first season. I watched every single episode, and yes, a kid who watches these things would be like, oh my God, I want to be there. But I would have never thought that I would have actually been there on that stage. It was a blessing to be there, to meet those people, to be a part of the same, to share the same stage with such people. It was a jolly time for me. Getting there was difficult, definitely. I worked really hard to brush myself to be on the show, and I think how it helped me was it boosted my self-esteem like a lot. I came out of the show with more self-esteem and confidence than I went into the show. And I think I'm carrying it on every single day in my life and increasing it. So
that's amazing. Okay. And do you remember any moment which you describe like the happiest? What would that be?
The happiest moment of my life was it was during the show, after the show, because my family was really proud of me when they got to know that I was, going to be appearing on television. Not a lot of people are very acquainted to the fact that, the modeling career, the profession is a good thing.
Right.
But me getting them to know that I am going to be appearing on national television and on a very renowned channel, it was exciting for them as well. Even after I got done shooting, and when the episodes were getting out, I not only had my family, I also had my friends of friends, my very little acquaintances who were supporting me. So I think it's the greatest moment of my life till yet.
It indeed is, because knowing that you actually appeared on a show at such a young age, it of course makes everyone proud, and so am I. Yeah. Okay, so talking about the pandemic, we would have never expected that anything as such would have ever happened, but then it did, and all of us were actually we were locked into our homes. So, but then we also had the opportunity to work on ourselves and make to get the better versions of ourselves out. So, what's the best thing that happened to you during the pandemic, and how did you improve yourself?
I think you're right. The pandemic did give us a lot of time to work on ourselves, because I was distributed with the modeling part of it, to trying to adapting to adapting to everything actually. And then there was sports for me, and then there was studying, and it was a lot to take in. But the pandemic helped me, study at my pace. I did not have to travel around a lot. It helped me get to know myself better, and not just myself. It got me to know my family better, because my family was also with me.
Right.
And it gave me a lot of time to work. It gave all of us a lot of time to work on ourselves as well as our families, and it did the same for me.
Of course. I mean, indeed was a good time for all of us. Okay, so moving forward, all of us have our own set of weaknesses and also our strength. So talking about you, tell me, just name a few of your strengths and your weaknesses, and how do you work to overcome your weakness, and what do you do to actually get better at your strengths?
Well, I think if I would name my let's start from weaknesses. Let's get down with the tough part.
Yeah.
So my weakness would be, I don't see a lot of weaknesses in me because I think introvertism was a weakness, but it's not anymore. I can talk freely. I can talk my mind whenever I please, which was not something that I could do before. But right now, I think my greatest weakness would be low self-esteem. Not low self-esteem. I think it would be low self-confidence.
Okay.
Because self-esteem, I still can gather some around and work with it. But self-confidence is something that, I walk in for a shoot and I see these perfect people. Everybody is so good at what they do, and I'm still learning. So I think it does get my confidence low a little bit. But at the same time, I know that I am growing, and I learn from every single person with that high energy of self-confidence. I look at them, I take positive energy from them, I learn from them, and then I try to put it out there. My strength is I'm very adaptable. I can adapt to situations. I am good at taking critiques, actually. Critiques is something that I have always taken in a very positive way, because there are a lot of people around in the industry who are very experienced, and they're just letting us know how to do things, and anything that they say should not be actually taken in a negative aspect, because I think they know what they're doing and saying. So I always take these things in a positive sense, and I work with it, and I get myself to improve and get myself better.
I mean, I must appreciate you here for the fact that you actually believe in accepting what your flaws are and working on them. Because nowadays we don't see people our age actually taking the critique. They're just like, they want to know all good about themselves and all of those. But you're actually working on yourself and ready to accept what people say. I think this is what makes you different from others. Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell me about a challenge you faced while you were modeling. Like, of course, there are many, but just to name one, what would that be? Like the challenge?
I think one thing that I've faced the most is self-confidence itself, because that's the only issue that I have faced in my entire career. That is something that I have struggled with in the last 2 years, and it's still not completely banished. I'm still struggling with it. I'm still striving to get rid of this low self-confidence.
Right. No, it's okay. I mean, of course, people do overcome with time. So good. Okay, this is one of my favorite questions I would like to know actually for the aspiring models out there. So what would you say are the 3 most important steps to be a good model? Like, you already have gone through the process. So what would your 3 most important steps be for being a good model?
I think the 3 most important steps to be a good model is to have good self-esteem, to have good self-confidence, and to have the ability to accept critiques whenever they are thrown at you, to take those words, and if you think they're negative, you turn them into positive words, and then you push it up in your mind and get them to work. And I think you need to change if you feel like there's a different perspective of you that's being understood by someone else. If you think this is not me, but why is this person saying that this is me? You need to work with what they're telling you to do and change it and get yourself to get more positive reviews.
Okay, I want all the viewers to actually note that down. This is very important. And not only for this field, but for every field. Like, if we talk about self-confidence or self-esteem or the adaptability, it's very important for every profession. Okay, moving forward, what professional goal do you have for yourself? I see that you are actually pursuing your bachelor's in psychology. At the same time, you are good at sports and you actually tutor, and you are, of course, a model. So what professional goal do you have for yourself, and what are you looking forward to?
Profession-wise, I think psychology is something that I definitely want to pursue, because it's something that I have wanted to pursue since I was in 8th grade.
Okay.
So it is definitely something that I will keep doing. Although modeling is something that gets me happy, that I want to, continue doing. I don't think that my degree in psychology or me being, me practicing psychology would ever be a problem with my modeling, because I would be independent in what I do as a practitioner of psychology.
Right.
And me tutoring is something that I do to understand children, because that's what I want to take up. I want to take child therapy and child counseling up. So me tutoring children helps me get to understand how their, mental procedure works, how their mind works. That is just a, tiny step I take every day to actually reach somewhere. And sports is something that I did as a hobby, but I don't think there is something, I don't think there's a future there. So
Okay.
that's about it.
Of course, I mean, sports are yet important in our personal life to be healthy. There's not
Yes.
necessary there has to be a career into it, but it's important. Okay, so moving forward, all of us actually have one inspiration and one person that we look up to for any sort of motivation or dedication that we need. And you must be having yours too. So who is your inspiration and why?
My inspiration would be my grandfather, and then it would be my mom, because I think whatever my mother has learned in her entire life is from him. And even till date, he's been pushing me for, education. He's always told me that, you have to study, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I think along the line, I needed to hear those "you have to" words,
Right.
because, he's pushed me forward. I think in my entire family, he was the most excited about my modeling career. He was the most excited about me being on TV. I think he's the only person who has, loud-mouthed the entire scenario. So, and he gives me a lot of motivation, because he also works really hard. Even at this age, he's still working, because he can't really sit and do nothing. And I think that's what I want to do when I grow up. I don't want to do nothing. I always want to do something.
Amazing. I mean, you already have an inspiration inside your home, so you don't need to look for it outside it. Okay. So what are your hobbies or interests outside of modeling? Like we already discussed a few, but is there anything else you would like to tell our audience? Like what are your hobbies or interests outside of it?
I think what I do in my spare time is, I do play the piano, because I just like making symphonies. I did get a ukulele recently, so I'm learning the ukulele as well. I'm learning symphonies. I play the guitar as well. I have a different sense of, I have different, how do I say this? I have different connection with instruments. I have played the flute. I can play the flute. I can play drums. I can play the bass drum. I can play the banjo as well. And then I can play a lot. There is a lot of more instruments that I definitely want to try out, but step by step growth.
Okay, I mean, I see that you are so good at everything. Like you can be called the jack of all trades, no doubt. Okay. So lastly, if there was anything you could change about your journey up till now, what would it be and why? I mean, you are so young and you have actually started, but actually achieved a lot. So if there was anything you could change about your journey, what would it be?
This is a tough one.
Okay.
So if there was anything that I could change about my journey, I think I have made a lot of mistakes along the line.
Okay.
It was definitely a part of learning, but everybody makes mistakes, and I have too. I have neglected a lot of things, pushed back. I have, again, self-confidence being the issue, but I have neglected a lot of things. I've told myself that, I don't think I can do it, and so I have just left it. I have not gone ahead and even tried. Okay. I think if I could change one thing, it's those moments when I left things saying I couldn't do them, because looking back at them, I may have had a chance for certain things, and certain things I could definitely have done. So I think that's one thing that I would want to change. I would want to go back in time and hit myself around and tell myself that no, you can do it. Go ahead, do it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I hope you actually achieve all that you want and you've ever dreamt of. So, Joanne, it was amazing talking to you. And I think I had one of the best conversations knowing you. And I think our audience is going to love knowing your journey too. And I wish you all the luck ahead and and may all your dreams come true. And I see you explore more in the modeling industry. And
thanks a lot, Sujata.
Yeah. Okay, so for everyone else, I'll be back next week with another episode of Weekend Bytes. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you, Joanne. But thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.